Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be fun chat like always, though I feel like Kat and I never hold back. So, um, she's in right now, so you probably just heard her laugh, which is fine. Because she's excited too, to be honest, to spill the tea. So anyway, I'm in the process of redoing the office. It looks a little empty behind me. I'm moving some stuff around, changing some pictures. I'm really excited. I've been doing my whole feng shui thing. I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of stuff to kind of chat about today. So, originally, like I said before, we pre-planned like our, chats like weeks in advance. And so originally we were going to do something like, light work talk, which we're going to still implement some of that into it. But a lot of stuff happened over the course of a week, like a lot of stuff. And so when that happens, we feel like, current events, especially like in the paranormal community, need to be talked about, dissected. As you guys know, I'm not afraid. What's with this like one long curl down here? I feel like it came unpinned. But I'm just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. All right, let's bring in Catalina. Are you ready?
Ready.
Cat's here. Yay. Okay.
Hello.
So, I am like prepped because I don't know how long we're gonna stream for. I have the tea literally to spill is prepped to spill.
All the tea.
I have, the Starbucks that's ready to spill, and in case I get parched, we have the water that's ready to spill.
Oh my god.
I have backups for my backups. They get so annoyed with me on set because you guys know I have like 4 or 5 drinks going at the same time, right?
The teas.
I literally have like 4 green teas on set, like going.
They last for like a month. They last for.
I'm like, well, it's because I have so many. I'm terrible. I'm ridiculous. They've just gotten used to it by now. So, what is up, Miss Cat? How's your day going so far?
It's going very well. Very well.
I feel like when we announced this, everyone was really, really excited.
They were.
Yeah.
They were. Well, there are just so many exciting things to talk about too.
Yeah.
Like the intro.
Yes. I feel like that's a good place to start. So, well, actually, wait, let's back up for 1 second. Some people have been asking, why are we streaming on Fridays? I don't know, it's just working. I know that normally I was streaming on Saturdays, and sometimes we have a bigger turnout. There's some people at work that tune into this, like a podcast. I'm still in post-production. We'll talk about that in a minute, too. Just Fridays have been working for the schedule, so it is for now, it's a temporary thing. We're just going with it to get through post-production. Today, Kat announced that the official song for GGD has been posted on like Spotify, iTunes, etc.
Everywhere. Go and listen. It's really good.
It's so surreal to me. You know what I mean? Like, it feels very like, I don't know. Like, and I know, like, I didn't produce it, obviously. I had just had, like, some creative inspiration with Kat while she was writing the lyrics. But I don't know. I'm just so excited. Thank you for, doing that and being a part of the journey with me. Because it is so surreal when you have, like, a dream. And even, like, a little part of it, like, the song comes to, like, fruition of, like, reality. It's kind of, like, whoa.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I mean, we've known about the song for like a year now, but like to get it released to the public is like, oh my gosh.
I know, it's so exciting.
So I took a snapshot of it. I still need to buy it. I haven't even done that yet. Sorry, hang on. I'm trying to. My dog is barking at something. God knows what.
Okay.
Black Roses. So on, if you go onto iTunes, it's right here. Let's see if I can get a good close up of it. If you search Black Roses, Elms Landing, that is what pops up. Ugh, and that's the GGD song. I'm so excited.
Very excited.
I'm going to have it on every single, like, streaming. Obviously, I'm going to buy it everywhere. Well, congrats, right, to you, because you're, like, ownership in Elms Landing and, like, main producer in it. How does it feel?
It's amazing. It feels amazing. Just especially like I love the opportunity to get back into the studio anytime I can. I love my producer in Boston. I love the production company that's in Boston. And the musicians that I get to work with are just amazing. So it's just such a good feeling.
Kat texted me early this morning and she was like, I have the best news. The song has been released. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, we've been waiting because it has to go through like approval processes and all that stuff. And
it is, yeah. For music, it's weird. iTunes usually takes the longest. I don't know why that is. So usually it's up to like 2 or 3 weeks for distribution,
Wow.
to upload there. But everywhere else, like Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, they're really quick. It's usually within like a 24 to 48 hour turnover time. But iTunes takes forever. And I think that's mainly because it's most popular. So they just want to make sure that like royalties are in set and that everything's like good to go. So, but
It's been a whole learning process for me because I don't know the music production side. So Kat's been kind of teaching me as we go. And it's been very interesting. So I don't know, it's super great news to wake up to say, hey, your song for the series has been uploaded officially. Fans can buy it. I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously, I just want to like pass out.
The whole like aesthetic of everything from like the artwork to even just like lyrically and just how the instruments all sound is just so pleasing.
The
It's so
flow
pleasing.
went
It just
like
fits
beautifully.
so well.
Yeah.
It fits so well. And like when you listen to it, you just envision everything that's to come.
Yeah, GGD. I mean,
So,
specifically Chanel, Kat, and I. And speaking of that, I feel like that's a good segue into post production. There's been people asking me about post production. Post production, I cannot talk about details, and that's because people be watching me. Okay. And I mean that sincerely. There's producers and production companies that are kind of shaking in fear at the moment because they know I'm coming for you, boo.
yes.
I'm coming for the paranormal community with my series, okay? We're going to knock it out of the ballpark, okay? And they're scared. So, we've had people, and honestly, here's the thing with film, right? And this is actually a quote from, like, Stanley Kubrick, because I'm just a fan of his just from, like, The Shining, and he didn't go to film school. He thought college was a waste of time and money. He thought film school was a waste of time and money. Stanley Kubrick said, as a director, all films out there or ideas for film have already been done. But as a director, or in my case, an executive producer, it is my job to do what has already been done differently and do it better and do it better. So, I mean, these producers that are watching us, I'm not doing anything that hasn't been done. There's paranormal series that keep flying out the door constantly. It's already been done. I'm just doing it with my vision, and that can't be replicated, you know what I mean, from like a director standpoint, EP standpoint. So people keep like, oh my god, they're watching you, and we know they are. There's been public things that have been said by other production companies and producers regarding us, and just wanting to like steal our ideas. That's not a new idea, okay? It's just having a vision, being authentic, not being scripted, not rushing through it, not cast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not cast people. I'm not casting for talent. I'm casting legitimate paranormal investigators like Kat, like Chanel, who are taking on bigger roles. Like Chanel's our camera tech and Kat's doing our production stuff. She's a producer. So it's, that's the problem that people have missed in paranormal is they keep recasting for talent. That's why you're failing, is because it's not talent, and you're also failing because it's scripted. So stop scripting crap, and the paranormal community won't realize you're fraudulent, and then your show won't be gone for one series and then just disappear. So, but once again, I'm doing it the harder way, the more expensive way, and a lot of times Hollywood wants to do it like the quick fix way, the fastest way possible, try to get a dollar turnaround, and that's how you fail in the end, unfortunately. So, regarding post-production, it's going really well, and our foreseen finish line, I guess deadline, is June 1st, is that we will have all post-production completed, which oddly is why I you texting me this morning. Kat is obviously East Coast, I'm West Coast, and she knows I stay up late sometimes and edit or work or whatever. And so I was up late last night, which means if she texts me, I'm dead to the world. But I found it shocking that you literally the week before post-production is going to be completed, the song finally got released on iTunes.
Yeah, it is very, very strange, but hey, not complaining.
Everything has just like fallen right into place. It's really weird.
Just
like,
as it should be.
In line. It just, to me, it means like everything's right and the universe is like directing us in the right direction.
It's so exciting.
I'm ready for post-production to be done, though. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
Yeah, I bet, girl.
It's been
Lord
a
above.
haul. It's been a haul because, and I feel like this is the perfect segue too into the next topic, which is kind of our light work discussions.
Mm-hmm.
And Kat and I got really into light work, and like I had already, as you guys know, had been into like the universe and the law of attraction and staying positive because like attracts like. If you feel depressed and you're down, you're going to keep attracting more of that. And it's really difficult because, if you think of it on one side, when things are going really well in your life, you're always very happy, right? Everything's fine, it's going really good. But, life happens and then negative things happen. But the way you respond to the negative things or the dark things or the bad things still determines the outcome. And
Yep.
for some people it's really difficult for them because they'll be like, oh, it's horrible, all this and I've had hard times. Obviously, I lost a parent in the last 6 months. I lost 2 dogs in the past 6 months. Like, I have not had it easy. But oddly, through all of that, I have known that if I stay down and depressed or sad, that you'll keep attracting that darkness. And I don't, like, even in the name of Harley, my dog, like, I know I have to keep going because that's what he would want me to do. But you still need to mourn and have the time to feel, but you can't let it run and determine your life. So I mean, Kat and I, like, even like last October, we started getting really into like the crystal healing and like moon water and all these like kind of mystical things. And I feel, and even me, I've pushed it further where I'm like doing like feng shui. How do you think it has changed your life, Kat, as far as like interpreting and putting all of those things into play in your life?
It's changed me in the sense where you think about things now in the time and like era we're in, and everything is so fast. Everything moves fast, instant gratification, like what we talked about shows, instant, it's going to be done now. So when you take a step back and you're able to kind of reflect on metaphysical practices, it gives you the opportunity to not only make yourself balanced, but to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so rare in this day and age because everybody's always in a rush to get to places, get things done. And that's all fine and good. But when you find the balance, that's the key to
I also
anything.
think social media moves so fast that we get
Yes.
anxiety as humans a lot easier now, especially like the
Oh,
new
yeah.
generation. Like, I'm millennial, but Z, whatever, like we all get anxiety because everything moves so fast. So when you're trying to manifest something or get something going, like a dream in your life, and if it doesn't happen like instantly, it causes depression. You're comparing your life to the people that you follow on social media, that honestly are quite fake because everybody has trials and tribulations, including myself. Nothing's ever perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't share it on social media, but then you compare your lives to these people with these perfect lives, and suddenly it's just like depressing, and you're like, wow, I'm not where I should be. And it's like, wait
Right.
a second, don't compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20.
Completely different.
It is. It's so different. So it is when you start regrounding yourself and balancing yourself, it is like you remember that like you need to live in the moment. And I feel like that's a really hard lesson to learn because
It is.
we're so used to moving, so fast all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a very old school concept when you think about it, like slowing down. That's why I've also loved looking into and practicing like green magic. I read a book. I've been reading a book actually, but I read a piece of it where the woman said in it that if somebody ever comes to you and said that they cast a spell and it happened immediately, they're lying,
Right. Yeah.
because things like that take time, just like anything, self-love, improvement in your life. If you're wanting the crystal healing or you want to follow the light work path, it takes time. But through those trials and tribulations and those lessons, you end up finding a balance within yourself to be able a little bit more like zen. And
Right. Yep.
it's the greatest feeling when you achieve that, because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it happens quick if you really do believe in it.
It's not
And
only that too, though. I feel like once you've practiced balance and you know the feeling of what grounding yourself is, which I've preached like meditation and yoga forever. Because even
Mhm.
like the big like macho tough UFC fighters out here, we go to one of the local UFC gyms. We know the trainers and the coaches, and they make all of the UFC fighters do yoga. All these like macho guys doing yoga, and that's because it's balance and it's focus. You relearn to like live in the moment. You only focus on breathing. But anyway, going back to what my point was, which is once you learn what balance feels like, and you learn what grounding feels like, it's more addicting to me than the anxiety.
It is.
Because you don't, who wants anxiety? Everybody gets anxiety or stress about something, or even depression, right? And I feel like once you've learned enough to ground yourself, you get to make and I'm not talking, clinical depression's different, okay? I'm not talking about like a clinical depression where you need to take like medication, okay? But once you realize grounding and how it feels, you get to make the cognitive choice. Okay, I'm in a stressful situation. Stress and anxiety is just not good for my health, and I don't like how that feels. So although I don't like what's going on, I'm going to appreciate regrounding myself so that I can handle the situation differently. But I feel like that's retraining your brain, and it's like it's building new neurotransmitters in your brain of like how to deal with and cope with stressful anxiety situations.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas humans automatically we're just gonna go to that like, oh, I'm so stressed sort of like mode.
Worst
And
case scenario type of
it
feeling.
is, yeah. And trust me, guys, like I've had it hard. Like I've had, a lot of deaths in the last 6 months of my life, and it's been unfun completely. But I've had to remember that although it's sad, I have to carry on, and life still has to go on. And I'm so close to my, achievement of the goal with GGD that I can't let anything stop me. And it's hard, but I'm not saying that's an easy thing. This has been like years of practice getting to this point where you don't let things get you down. I mean, don't you agree, Kat, like with that statement? It's not something you can just do like overnight.
No, it's not. It's not. You have to be consistent in it for it to really take effect in your life. But it's when you go through those trials and, the universe sees, okay, well, this person is now making a change in their life. Let's throw this scenario at them. Let's throw this scenario at them. And in those situations, when you're being consistent, you end up taking those situations and analyzing them in a way of like, stop and let me rethink.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important. It's so important, the good and the bad.
Well, and we don't need to say what specifically, but let's talk about you had a fun tribulation last week trial. And I'm
Yes, I
laughing
did.
because I know what it is personally. You do not need to share it. Okay, we'll keep that private. Okay. But the universe slapped the out of Cat last week, okay? And
Almost had a nervous breakdown, but it's fine.
how do you, but talk about it. Like, right. Your instant reaction is as a human to panic, right?
Right.
Talk me through like what happened. Like,
I don't really know like how to be discreet about it, so I'll try my best. There was
I'm so sorry.
There was an opportunity that was given to me, but the opportunity didn't come like organically or anything like that. It was kind of being like thrown down my throat, and I felt a little harassed, and I felt a little intimidated just because of the way it was being handled. But this specific scenario is something that I wanted for like a really long time. So I was very conflicted. I was like, do I do this now? But I've got Ghost Girl Diaries stuff going on.
It
I
wasn't
really shouldn't.
something though you were like manifesting, like
No,
this
not
exact
at all.
moment.
It happened so randomly, and I feel like for me it was like the one last lesson to try to like see if this you're going to answer it correctly. And my goal is to be in Vegas in October. And this opportunity would have still gotten me to my goal, but definitely would have
delayed
hindered
a
things
little
bit. Yeah. And that wasn't the mindset I was on. So when I was given this opportunity, I was being hounded by it. I kept saying, no, I really don't think I can do this right now.
Your gut instinct did tell you the way, which was no.
Yes. I kept saying no, but it was like, no, think about it. Go home and think about it. And I did, and I called Krystal in a total frenzy. I was so all over the place because I was just a mess. I'm thinking to myself, well, if I don't, if I don't take it, this opportunity will never come along again. But if I do, it's going to delay what I've been saying and like manifesting that I want to do. And I don't know if I should mess with that. Like, what if I say yes to this and bad karma comes? Like, I don't really know what decision to make.
And literally, I heard, these were the thoughts Kat was talking to me on the phone. Having like, and that's, no, but it's normal, right? This is how our brains work. Your brain gets overwhelmed and it doesn't know which direction to go. And so I'm telling Kat, I really think that this is a universal lesson. I think the universe is slapping you. And I said, I don't know what the end outcome is going to be. But I said, clearly your gut has already answered it several times. So I told Kat, I think you need to go with what your answer already said.
Yep.
And you waited a few days. You decided to go with your gut.
Yep.
And then these people got a hold of you again, and you realized, even though you'd already answered, it didn't turn out to be what you thought it was anyway.
It didn't even turn out what they said was going to happen.
Right.
Essentially, yeah, 3 days went by. I was feeling really good, and I didn't hear from them, so I figured, you know what, I'm good now. This is great. We can move on. Then they called me and essentially told me that they gave the opportunity to someone else, but they wanted to give me this instead.
And it wasn't a good one.
And I lost my mind. And for once, I was like, it was very clear, like, either way, no matter what I said, it probably would have been a no either way.
Mm-hmm.
But the universe was trying to give me a lesson to pick what do I really want to do right now. Mm-hmm. And, this is Vegas. Yep. Going to Vegas and following that path and making it happen. And essentially that is what it is. So thank God. I called Krystal and told her about it, and she was like, you passed the test. And
Kat's like, it was a lesson and I passed. And I was like, I knew it. I just knew, because trust me, okay, I've had plenty of lessons that nobody knows about yet. Okay, Kat knows about a lot of them. Okay. I get lessons every day. Let's just say that. And yeah. And it is, eventually once, I'm going to have several books eventually over time probably, but, mm-hmm. and I'll share some of those lessons. But, my lessons are, can you get through these difficulties and still pull off the pilot and still pull off a series? And my answer is always, F you, universe, you're not going to take me down. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yep.
So you just have to decide. But once again, it's a lot of grounding. And if I didn't have things like meditation and even like right now, I'm forcing the energy in my house to change with like the feng shui thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I sense it. I feel it because I'm sensitive to energy. Like, I don't know how I would reground myself. So it's really important that everybody tries to practice it. And I don't know what's so bad about trying it. Like, right. The most difficult moments though are when you're having those anxiety or stress or depression moments and you have to remember to reground yourself. Those are the most difficult moments. But honest to God, once you do it a few times, you're like, I don't even like how that feels anymore. I'm not going to go to that place anymore.
Right. The way that I see it after a while, I mean, and Krystal's been doing it longer than I have, but, the light work path, doesn't matter how long you've been on it, you're still going to have lessons in those bad days because we're only human.
Oh, yeah.
But you end up seeing some of these lessons so consistently in your life that when they do come along, it's almost kind of like a switch in your brain where you're like, well, all right, the universe is just wanting to make sure I'm being kept in check.
Mm-hmm. Well, also,
and this is something that I want to do.
The light work path, too, of like, regrounding yourself and seeing the good versus seeing the bad, or like, I guess it's like optimism versus pessimism, right? Mm-hmm. Remember that the lesson will continue to reoccur until you have passed it. And they get harder. The lessons get harder and harder and harder. And so I'm at a point, girl, where I'm like, bam, it's done. Bam, it's done. Lesson's done. Bam. I'm like not even playing around because I know them. And that's when Kat called me. I was like, girl, this is a lesson. This is a lesson. But I was a mess. I told Kat, I said, look, this is not my lesson. This is your lesson from the universe. You have to decide how you're going to respond and answer. I cannot be a part of the narrative. And I told her my opinion, though. I was like, if it were me, I would say that's a no for me, because you don't. The universe will, like, oh man, the lesson will keep coming back. I will say, though, once you get really good at it, the lessons get shorter and faster, because you start recognizing, like, oh, this isn't good. I know what this is going. This is something happening.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway, and that kind of segues into the next one that we wanted to talk about, which is, I'm a part of the beauty community. Obviously, I love makeup, right? I'm obsessed with makeup.
Yeah.
I have my makeup channel. It's not as big as what Ghost Girl Diaries was on YouTube, but I do have my makeup channel. I am planning on uploading some more tutorials after, post production is done. But, there was some drama that went down. And the reason I want to bring it up is because I feel like it's a lesson for people in general. There was an issue with James Charles. He's a 19-year-old kid. He's kind of dumb. 19-year-olds are dumb. We were all dumb at 19. Yeah. And had a war with somebody else. I don't even know who she is. She's my age. And then Jeffree Star, who I'm a huge fan of. I have so much of his makeup. Like, I've literally spent hundreds of dollars of his makeup on his product. He decides to, like, kind of stick his nose where it doesn't belong with James Charles. And that was it wasn't really a lesson. It was a lesson to watch, because it's like, if people would just worry about themselves instead of worry about what everybody else is doing, you would accomplish so much more. Like, absolutely. You cannot, be involved in everybody's business. But I also feel like we're in a time with, like, millennials and, like, these generations where it's kind of like the Kardashian concept, which is the more drama that you stir up, you think the more attention you get. I also feel like, though, that's getting a little old. Yeah. Where people are, like, over the drama and they want, like, people to be real. And when people stir up the drama, it's like, oh, I'm burnt out. Like, I have enough going on in my own life. I don't, like, need to hear about this, Like, what was your opinion on the whole thing?
As my bullet point was in the email, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Mm-hmm. Worry about you. Because if the energy you spend on somebody else and worried about somebody else, or trying to stick your nose into something, you could be spending that energy on bettering your life and the things that you need to do. And it's just annoying. And then it became this huge thing, because then he had to apologize. And it just... it was really frustrating. The whole thing was really frustrating.
It was ugly, and I was sick seeing it on my social media. I ended up unfollowing Jeffree Star because I just didn't want to see it anymore. I was tired of it. And he ended up, like, James Charles lost fans, and it was all over a vitamin. Like, Jesus Lord, nobody, there was receipts.
A gummy vitamin.
All over a gummy vitamin. Then there's Jeffree Star, who also lost a bunch of followers and fans because they were tired of him, like, trying to sneak in at the last minute. And I'm just like, is it really worth jeopardizing what you have built up for years just because you want to be a nag and get in the middle of it? And the other reason I'm tying this into me is there's so many fans that are like, Krystal, like, there's other YouTubers out there. Have you seen this paranormal YouTuber do this or this paranormal YouTuber? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And they're like, what? Why? And, like, shouldn't you be in on, like, the community? No, because I'm worried about what I'm doing. I'm not worried about what other people are doing, and I think they should be the same. I had a fan a few years ago that was really involved with, there was, like, some drama going on, I think, like, Huff Paranormal and stuff, and this person was just, like, uploading paranormal videos to kind of take down Huff Paranormal. And they kind of wanted me to get involved in it because they were like, you call out BS. I'm like, I don't have time for this, yo. No. Like, you need to worry about yourself and, like, what you're doing and focus on what you're doing. Because you're also putting out really bad energy by, like, trying to take someone else down. And that also goes, like, with the Jeffree Star, James Charles situation. Trying to take someone else out is, like, really bad karma. And I don't know about you, Kat, but I've had instant karma slap me before.
Yep.
So I do not put bad karma out there because I do not want it to slap me back.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's why I don't worry about what other people are doing. So
Yeah.
anyway, I just wanted to touch on that because it's just, and honestly, what kind of culture do we live in if all we want to do is just take each other down, like literally? Like,
Yeah, that's not right.
it's dark. Isn't that dark? I mean, to me, it's
Yeah.
like, how do we ruin this person, like, completely so that we can not have them as competition? It's just like, and I think I was also disappointed because Jeffree Star and the other girl, they're my age. They're like in their 30s, right? Early
Right,
30s. I'm
right,
in my early 30s. I'm like, y'all don't have something better to do than to like calling out this like 19-year-old? Like, come on, over a vitamin? Jesus
right.
Lord. Just if you'd worry about yourself and your company, you're going to have a lot more success in the end than putting out bad juju to everybody else. Whether what was true or not, I don't care. I just don't
Right.
like that we're in a culture where we like try to take each other down and whatnot. So
Yeah, it's
anyway,
wrong.
well, especially like there were some real serious like sexual harassment, like rape allegations going on and stuff. Like,
Really serious. Yep.
do we really have to get that dark? Like, everybody needs to chill out here, okay? Everybody needs some more Jesus. There's too much Satan, not enough Jesus, okay? So anyway,
Dead.
that's all. Do you have any last words on that?
Praise Satan, it's over. Let's just say that, okay?
Yeah, I was sick of hearing about it. I was over it. I'm like, y'all are getting on my nerves. I'm sitting
Dude,
here.
I stopped going on Twitter.
I did
I'm like,
too.
this is so annoying.
I'm like editing for hours, working. I'm like, if y'all did the same thing, I'm just saying you might get a little further. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and it is bullying. Someone said bullying. I was talking to Amy about that. Amy, Ouija Bob's our PA for production, and even Amy was like, it was ridiculous. Okay, so we're moving forward to a
Yes.
more spicy subject, if you know what I'm saying. Let's get spicy, okay? Kat and I talked about this on social media, and everyone's like, "What's going on?" I don't even know. They're like, even Chanel's like, "Do you mean spicy, literal, like food, or do you mean like
Yes.
metaphorically speaking?"
Kind of.
Yeah.
When Krystal and I were talking about this topic, it was literally an hour conversation of both of us silent because we couldn't believe what we were reading.
Okay,
we
so
were both researching.
This stems from I was on Instagram this week and Snapchat. I know I haven't been on social media much, and really the answer is I'm working my butt off trying to finish this stupid thing that I'm trying to get done, okay? I'm working like all the time. And so anyway, haven't had time to really get on social media, and I finally got on Snapchat and Instagram, and everyone was messaging like, "Oh, she's back, but she's got some tea." And my snaps were literally, I was like, I have been triggered. I have been triggered. And once again, this goes back to like original OG Ghost Girl Diaries, which is not nagging on the people themselves, nagging on the production companies and the producers, okay? Because as you guys know, I'm the one that like debunks and picks apart how the production companies function, right? I don't even know where to begin. So, I guess let's start on a positive note. Let's talk about Chuck Zukowski, okay?
Yes.
Chuck Zukowski is, I know him personally. He lives in Colorado. Really great dude. Love Chuck Zukowski. He was formerly a sheriff in Colorado. I'm actually gonna, just remove Kat from the photo for just a minute, and I'm gonna bring on Chuck so that you guys can see who I'm talking about, okay? 1 second here. Okay. So this is, I just kind of Googled the shows that we're going to be talking about here. But anyway, Extraterrestrial Highway, okay, is the new show that's coming up. It's going to be on Travel Channel. And it's featuring Chuck Zukowski. And I need to make sure that I have, let's look here. Sorry guys, I wasn't fully prepared for you. There's Chuck Zukowski. So I know Chuck. Chuck is the real deal. He is very legit. He's very knowledgeable. He helped us when we had captured the Roswell rods on film. And I'm trying to find a picture of him so you guys can see him. I was hoping that it'd be on here. Anyway, as I find this, Chuck was... oh, here's his IMDb page. Oh, no picture, of course. Um, he has been on Ghost Adventures. You probably just saw that. Oh, here's his. This is his website, ufonut.com. Okay. This is Chuck is right here. He's the one in the middle. If you can see him in the middle. And this is his son on the other side of him, and then this is a girl that's also been cast to be with him. Anyway, Chuck is legit. He's amazing. I'm really just thrilled for him that he got his own series. He will be on the Travel Channel. God, I'm trying to find a good picture of him. It's coming up. I think it premieres June 12th or maybe June 1st. I can't remember. I'm trying to find a picture of him. Anyway, oh, here he is. This is Chuck. Okay. Chuck's really cool. So he used to be a sheriff in Colorado. And basically what ended up happening was he was getting phone calls in Colorado, like southwest Colorado, because there were tons of cattle mutilations going on. And as a sheriff, he was getting called out to these locations to go and basically find out, like, here's a picture of one of the mutilations, okay? So they would call him out and say, we need you to investigate. Well, as a police officer, they weren't really allowed to do much or a lot. And he ended up quitting as a sheriff and literally full-time going into like UFO hunting. And like he has seen some crazy stuff. He's fully authentic. I actually ended up meeting him by accident years ago at a paranormal convention, and the conversation sparked that he had been on Ghost Adventures too, and like I had done obviously Paranormal Challenge, but we both lived in Colorado. That was kind of where we had our like mutual ground from. He's a really cool dude. He still to this day full time investigates cattle mutilations in Colorado. He's actually done some in like Arizona, New Mexico, and even Utah, like all the surrounding states and Wyoming. So his show is coming out, which I'm just really excited about. There we go. I'm going to exit out of that. So it's called Alien Highway. Let's see. It says premieres Wednesday, June 12th at 10 p.m. on the Travel Channel. I'm definitely going to catch that one. And obviously we'll be doing a review on it because I really do love Chuck. The only other thing that I kind of was triggered by regarding this, okay, was... So Chuck will be in this production. He'll be leading it. His son is obviously investigating with him with the UFOs. But another girl named Heather Taddy is also going to be doing like research with him. And this was kind of one of my first triggers. Heather, and I don't know her personally, she was on Paranormal State, as you can see. And I'm bringing Kat back in. I don't know her. Okay, so this isn't about Heather. I don't have anything against anybody, as I've said. But why are we still bringing in people from like 10 or 15 years ago television series?
Yeah, recycling.
Why are we still recycling people? Why aren't we bringing in fresh blood? Why are there literally hundreds of paranormal YouTubers out there and no one's getting cast for new positions? Why are we bringing in all of the old recyclable people?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
And I don't have anything against her, right? Like, I don't know if she's bad or good or whatever. I don't know how legitimate she is, but you know, it's been how many years since Paranormal State has been on? Over 10.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I haven't.
It's just random.
I haven't heard of her. You know, like what's going on? Like, why can't we bring in new people? I feel like what these producers and production companies are doing is they're thinking, oh, this person was on a show, so they have a fan base, so let's bring them on. And I'm like, why haven't we given anybody else a chance?
Right.
I mean, how do you feel about it?
I agree. I also think it has to do with cable dying, and they're trying to stay relevant. So if they think that they put in people that, you know, used to have fans or might still have fans, it might generate more views. Could be that, because it's been a lot of different shows where people are coming back.
They're only recycling the old people. And once again, I have nothing against these people. I just, like, Heather Taddy, I didn't know who she was till I realized she was on, you know, with Chuck Zukowski. And I'm like, Paranormal State's so ancient.
Right.
Why? And once again, is the production companies and producers so out of touch with the paranormal community? wanting to see new blood, that they continue to bring in old people. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Are these producers so out of touch with the paranormal community? And why are they doing a paranormal show?
Right.
And I love Chuck. It has nothing to do with Chuck. Chuck's very authentic. I'm just confused. I don't understand why we can't get someone fresh. So anyway.
Yeah, that is strange.
It is strange. I just don't get it. Once again, though, we're talking about casting versus, bringing actual people in for, like, production. Like Chanel does our camera work and Kat's our producer. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go into the spicy topic. Are you prepared, Kat?
I am so ready. Let's do this.
Okay. This is going to be a little difficult to talk about, okay? So, it was announced, and I accidentally saw it on social media. And someone asked, has she been in anything since Paranormal State? No, I don't think so. Which is why I'm also still confused.
Lots of confusion.
There's a lot of confusion going on. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I saw on social media that a new show is being cast once again, or it's already filmed and it's getting ready for premiere on Travel Channel. Ghosts of Morgan City. And it premieres with someone we may all know, who is Ben Hansen. And in case we don't know who Ben Hansen is, let's
We'll tell you who he is. So ready.
Oh my God, Kat, you're so funny.
Just insanity. And what's weird about this is when Krystal had posted it in group chat, I think it was group chat, actually. Mm-hmm. I had actually seen a different picture of this group on Facebook through a mutual friend of mine. So, but we'll get there.
So this is a picture. This is who Ben Hansen is. Okay, he was on a show called Fact or Faked on Sci-Fi years ago. Some of you guys may have remembered it. They would do things like they would try to recreate UFO videos and see if they were fraudulent. They would sometimes go hunt Yetis and all this stuff. Okay, like weird stuff. Then it was kind of exposed that at the time, I think this picture is when, like, how young he was when he was on Fact or Faked. Okay, so probably his 20s or early to mid 20s. He was coming out saying he was introduced as a former FBI agent. And the show aired for like 6 or 7 seasons, something or like that. And eventually fans got really confused because they were like, how is he so young and he's a former FBI agent? And basically all of these people, I remember when this was happening, at the time social media wasn't as big as it is now, like Twitter and Instagram. But he was basically called out as a fraudulent FBI agent. Like, during the casting, Sci-Fi basically kind of used that as his background to, like, make him look credible, okay? But then you get people coming out that were writing articles, that were doing YouTube videos saying he is not an FBI agent. There were even members of, like, police, and all the FBI saying, like, we don't know who this person is. How is he a former? So anyway, I'm just gonna bring Kat back in for a second.
I feel like there's so many things you could say, but why lie about that? I feel like that's just so random. Like, yeah, I'm a FBI agent.
Well, I don't think that was his fault. I think that was probably the producers behind the series that were saying, "Oh, let's make you look credible and call you an FBI agent."
He had to have okayed it, though.
Well, no? Probably. But, I mean, he wanted to sound cool. I mean, what guy wouldn't want to be like, oh, I'm a former FBI agent? Anyway, he never really responded to this controversy. I have met Ben Hansen a handful of times at, like, Scarefest and some of the conventions that I've done and been to. He's not the most warm guy, at least he wasn't at the time. I'm assuming his ego probably got in the way a little bit from calling himself an FBI agent. But when it was kind of exposed that he was fraudulently titling himself, I mean, at this point, 2019, calling yourself a federal employee like that has got to be like, you get in trouble, I feel like, at this point.
Big trouble.
Like you're
Big trouble.
identifying yourself as a federal agent and you're not. I mean, I know it's Hollywood, but then you'd have to admit at some point that it was scripted.
Right.
I'm sorry. I just feel like I just had a seizure. I'm fine. Um,
What?
well, I'm just still shocked. So anyway, didn't
Oh.
know what happened to Ben Hansen. I know that he's been trying to grip some series here and there, like sending out, casting calls and whatnot. And then finally I heard he was a part of this, and I was like, once again, are producers and production companies that out of touch with the paranormal community that they have looked down upon this person as being a fraudulent FBI agent? Like, I know that you're trying to like sort of rebrand who you are and come out as something or someone else, but like those credentials follow you around forever, and like we don't forget about that stuff. So I mean, just on the Ben Hansen side, before we talk about anyone else, just what's your 2 cents on it?
It's like so confusing. And I think what's even more confusing about it is on this new show that he's cast in, there was a news article posted and they're still calling him a former FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't get it the first time when there was that whole controversy. I don't understand how this is still being dragged in.
Well, once again, he never really responded to the, allegations. So,
but I mean, it just kind of makes it worse, though, if you keep talking about it.
He should respond if he, I mean, if he was a former FBI agent at the age of like 22, 24, first of all, did he start working when he was 14? Like, and why are you former? I would just love to know some like credential backup details on this. You know what I mean? Like, how did you go to college and get through the police force and then get credited and then like get thrusted into the FBI so fast? Because normally you have to really work your way up in the chain. You don't just go in unless he like knew somebody, but he was so young. So anyway,
right.
I'm just confused.
Too.
I'm also confused once again why we're bringing some old recycled people back into the series. Is there no one else to choose from? Is there no one else that's fresh? Like we're talking about millennials and like Generation Z. Like there's nobody to bring up even that's younger that can like grasp the younger audience. Like I have Chanel that's in her early 20s. I'm just kind of confused.
Yep.
I mean, are you?
I am. I don't understand it. But it's old news.
Yeah.
And people that know about the paranormal community and past shows and stuff, they're all probably also looking like, but wait, it's not like they've been slowly integrated back into the system and then now they have a show. Like,
that's what I mean. Like I haven't seen Ben Hansen on anything in like literally it's got to be 10 or 15 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
just random. What
happened? Where did he come? How is he? Okay, so anyway, and once again, I'm not ragging on him necessarily, other than like the fact that he claims he's an FBI agent. But like the producers, I'm just so confused. So I'm gonna bring this back up again. So anyway, when we found out that Ben Hansen, this was the show. This was like the people that were involved in it originally. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was Fact or Fake, just so you know. And then this is Ben Hansen, team leader, FBI agent. I'm gonna exit out of that. Okay. He's on this show called Ghosts of Morgan City. Okay. I was actually shocked to see this is one of like the little headliner premiere things, okay? I didn't know, because of his credentials before, this is him like all the way over, to the left-hand side. Who's the lead investigator and why? You know what I mean? So Kat and I started doing some research because once again, this is another new series that's going to come on to Travel Channel. I'm like, they're drowning in paranormal shows. They have too many. Weird. You guys need to slow down. You're killing it. And they're going to end up killing off Ghost Adventures if they're not careful, because people aren't going to want to watch, like seep through all of this like haystack.
Right.
They've gone too far. It's become the new Destination America,
Yeah.
So we did some research. And I don't even know how to introduce. Look at Kat's face. I bring Kat back in her face. Oh my god. I'm just trying to delicately introduce this next person. Let me do it, please,
I'm gonna
Kat,
let you
because
do
I
that
don't think
because
Kat
if
can
I
be.
do,
Yeah.
it's gonna be bad.
Kat
so.
cannot hold her tongue, so I'm just. You know what? I'm gonna pull up his website. Don't you think that would be? Well, no, because then we're proving who he is, right? Like.
True.
I'm not like making this up. Okay, so.
This is real life, folks. Real
okay,
life.
wait a second. First of all, I'm just gonna wait. I'm sorry. We have to do this in like little increments. Okay. When you think of the word Cajun, what do you think of? Spicy food? Right?
Lots of spicy food.
That like literally will give me the rumbly tumblies, so I cannot do Cajun food, right?
Tummy rumblies.
Yeah,
yes.
You can't do Cajun food, okay? I was like, my tummy
Bad.
cannot handle it, okay? So when you think of the word Cajun, you think of spicy food. If you think of the word Cajun demonologist, what comes to your mind?
Like
a spicy demonologist.
Spicy demons. Spicy demons. They're really sassy and spicy.
This man identifies himself as the Cajun demonologist. Okay. I feel it's hard, you know?
I just can't.
I feel like I have no words.
That was us on the phone. like, what? Okay. Trying to make this true? Yeah, it was.
Well, first of all, everybody knows how I feel about the word demonologist. I don't like people that call themselves demonologists because I have said it before that demonologists are very, very holy people. In fact, let's start there. That's a good spot. Kat knows what you would call a real-life modern demonologist or exorcist. Okay.
Yep.
And does he identify as a demonologist or an exorcist?
Absolutely not.
Do not give his name out, but what does he identify as far as the holy side?
He's a priest. He is a priest. But he's what we call a father.
He's a father. So you call him Father Name, right?
Father, yada, yada.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This person has performed exorcisms and blessings on houses. Does he brag about the exorcisms that he has conducted?
Not even in the slightest. He is very serious about all of this.
How does he word things when it comes to paranormal relation?
He words things very cautiously and says to be careful. Mm-hmm. Woo, did you hear that?
Yeah, that was like a slap.
That was a huge slap on my wall. No!
It's like, don't call the priest, Kat!
Not today! Okay? God, I'm a priest. I'll get you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but he's very careful and just says to be mindful.
So he does not think that you should take paranormal lightly. He doesn't think you should joke around with it. He thinks it is very serious. He thinks that the devil and demons exist. They are real. And he does not, per se, study demons themselves. He studies God and how to rid yourself or home of them in the name of God and Jesus.
Yes. Yep.
So if you were actually talking about someone that's a demonologist, that means they are studying the act of actual demons and what they do, their names, where they come from, etc., which means you are of the dark. Right?
Yes.
I mean, wouldn't you agree with that statement? Okay.
I would.
I also know priests that have done like actual exorcisms. You would consider them probably a demonologist and an exorcist. They do not identify as a demonologist or an exorcist. Absolutely not. Because that's once again titling yourself of the dark. People that actually do this in the name of helping the public are serving God to the highest grader of God, right? Would you?
Yes.
I mean, it's full on. They are the most religious people you will ever meet.
Yeah.
There's real ones.
Yes, and they're like, it's fact.
Right.
This is real. Mm-hmm. So they don't necessarily deter you. When he was talking with me, especially on this paranormal path that I'm on now, he didn't deter me from not doing it. But he was very, very cautious and just being careful.
And he
And
told you
knowing
not to joke around and not to
not don't joke about it.
provoke. Don't. That demons
Yep.
do exist, darkness exists, the devil is
Yes.
real, and do not mess with what you shouldn't be messing with, basically.
Exactly. Which is
so. Although he has done exorcisms and whatever you want to call it, house blessings.
Yep.
Does he seem to? Let's use this word. Does he seem to care what the demons' names are that he's expunging?
No.
And that's because it's just dark, right? He doesn't care.
It
All
is.
he knows is it's dark and it shouldn't be there.
Correct. Well, and also, he has mentioned too that if you do have the name and say it can manifest some really bad things.
Right. Well, and if you're expunging it like in an exorcism manner, usually you'll need it. Often you'll need it. But
yes,
doesn't mean that he wants to take the name and like research it.
No.
Right. Okay.
Doesn't boast about it. Doesn't do anything.
Doesn't boast about it. Doesn't make a blog about it. Doesn't brag about the exorcisms he's done. Doesn't brag about the demons that he's expunged from the planet. Right. Nothing like that.
No.
Okay. So we're going to go into the next thing. I'm going to pull this back up, this website. So this is the lead investigator of the show Ghosts of Morgantown, which is premiering on the Travel Channel in June, okay? He is from Louisiana, and he is known as the Cajun Demonologist, okay? I don't know him personally. This is his demonic, or demonology blog. Don't really care to read through it. Don't know him personally. All I know is it feels a little dark to me. How did you feel when you kind of looked through the website? It seems a little dark.
Very dark.
Yeah, it seems very like dark. It might be a little bit more of a dark practice than it is a light practice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not sure if he has I don't know if it's my empath kicking in or like me being sensitive, but I'm sensing there's something dark happening there. I don't know if it. Obviously, Louisiana is also known for like hoodoo voodoo sometimes.
Yeah, there's something weird. I mean, when we saw his photo, the energy off of just even looking at the photo is odd.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, he's the lead investigator. I just realized he's like smoking a pipe on his website. Did you see that? I didn't even realize that.
No, I didn't see that.
I'm not sure what it is. It's probably, maybe sage. I don't know.
Cajun
sage.
Cajun spices.
So anyway, Ghosts of Morgantown is Morgan City. I'm sorry, is down in Louisiana. It's supposed to be this really haunted town. I don't know. It sounds like to me Ghosts of Shepherdstown a little bit. Ghosts of Morgan City. Doesn't it sound kind of similar?
Literally sounds like the same thing.
Yeah.
Except there's some spice with demons going on.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the paranormal community. I just clearly we're not going to get anything good and fresh until we're done with our pilot and our series.
True.
I wish I have literally forums from you guys as fans on all other videos, fans communicating out loud what they want to see as far as production value goes with paranormal, and I feel like the producers and the production companies are so out of touch with the community at this point. Don't you feel it?
Yep. It's sad.
And I didn't know, by the way, Cajun demonologist, that the word Cajun comes from Louisiana. Blake used to live in Georgia, so I kind of asked him about it because he would travel back and forth to all the southern states. He said usually people that identify as quote Cajun are sometimes swamp people, and that's not to be offensive. They are openly that's how they openly describe themselves, meaning that they will build homes in the swamp, and they don't really pay for the land because it's an abandoned area. They'll fish out crawdads, and obviously hunt alligators. Sometimes they'll sell the meat. So oftentimes that's the Cajun way. So he's identifying himself as the Cajun demonologist. I haven't seen any of it. I don't know. It sounds very different than Ben Hansen because he seemed very much a pretty boy on Fact or Faked. So I'm kind of shocked that he's kind of dipping into the swampy areas, I guess, of Louisiana. So that's just going to be interesting to see how it all kind of fits together. They do have another girl that's kind of like a sidekick. She seems new. She's not really involved in anything.
She's psychic.
Oh, she's a psychic.
Yeah.
Oh. Have you done any research on her as far as being a psychic?
No, she doesn't have any real credibility, at least from what I saw. But she does.
What's her name? Let's see.
Say that she's psychic.
Oh, yep. Psychic
is it
medium
Janet?
Sarah Limos.
Oh, is it Sarah?
Yeah.
I thought it was. Why did I think Janet? I don't have the name in front of me. But...
Okay, she has a Facebook page. She says she's a clairvoyant psychic medium, so you can book with her, and she has a 5-star rating, so she looks like she might be legitimate.
Wow. Well, that's cool, at least. I mean, I guess we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, that she has like over 2,000 people that like her page, and she has a 4.8 stars out of 41 votes. Let's see.
It's all still very odd, though. There's no real, like, consistency.
No. I'm just looking at her page. I haven't really had a chance to research. Event schedule now. Events. Let's see. You can book with her long distance. Well, that'll be interesting to see. Oh, there's group. Wow, a group reading with her is $500, and one Skype reading is $200.
What?
An in-office reading is $200. Holy crap!
Whoa.
I think that's like Chip Coffee prices, so she better be good.
No kidding.
Wow, that's really high.
Wow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, just because I've gotten to. Chip Coffee has done. I've been in the room with him when he's done like the group readings and all that stuff, and he only charges like $40 a ticket or $50 a ticket. So that's crazy.
That is crazy.
It looks like she does events all over Oregon. So wow, that's
be interesting how it plays out.
200. Woo. I don't think I've ever paid that much for a psychic reading.
Right.
But so anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what unfolds. Everybody keep their eyes out, and Jesus, here's a group reading she did for $800. Holy crap.
What?
Ooh.
Where?
I don't know. It was just one of her reviews online. It made me dizzy looking at it for some reason. So, anyway.
That's weird.
It is kind of a weird combo. You have a psychic medium, a Cajun demonologist, and you have Ben Hansen. I don't get it. It's a little bit of an odd combo, but it's okay. Let's see what happens. And
yeah, weird. And it's not a joke, because like this guy.
No, this is not a joke. None of this is a joke. This is like I have it pulled up. Like this is legit.
The guy that labels himself as the Cajun demonologist literally has his own like Facebook page, and he's 110% serious.
So does he say he does exorcisms and stuff like that?
I didn't read into it. I didn't like his vibe. I gotta be honest. Yeah. So I didn't want to look in it. I just saw that he had it linked on his Facebook page.
Man, what's Travel Channel doing? I don't know what you're doing, Travel Channel. But this is exactly why I did not want to go to cable network, because it's like
it's a disaster.
You know what it is? This is what I think's happening. This is just my vibe. I don't know how you're feeling about it. I feel like Ghost Adventures is 18, 19 seasons in, right? People know that they're about to come to an end. I mean, I think that the museum was opened for a retirement fund, you know? I think that people are like dying to get like the next big series.
Right.
And they are just doing everything they can to rush, and they're just putting it out there and like praying that it's the next big thing. But, you know, once again, you're not listening to the paranormal community and what they want. And you're right, cable's dying. Like,
they look desperate. They look desperate right now.
I don't even know any of my personal friends. No one has cable. Everybody does like streaming services. It's like Netflix, you know, like I had cable. I canceled it about a year ago But they give you like the special deal where it's like $100 a month, and then all of a sudden when the contract ends, it jumps up to $500 a month or whatever. I was literally paying like $400 a month for cable for like 4 rooms. And I was like, what am I doing? Get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's ridiculous. Why would you waste that much money? But you're
True.
right. Cable's dying. Everyone's going to YouTube, social media. I know it's triggered by millennials and Generation Z. But, $7.99 for Netflix, or if you're a Prime member and you already get Amazon streaming services with it, it's like it's $7.99 compared to $400 a month. I feel like is a pretty good deal. You know.
I have to agree.
I don't know. It's like trash can fire.
It is. It's unfortunate.
It is. I feel like it's just like I don't know what's going on, and the longer Ghost Adventures stays in the middle of this swamp mess, like with all these weird shows coming out, I feel like it's just gonna make them look worse being in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. It's like, what happened to Travel Channel? Like, I loved, I know obviously Anthony Bourdain died and stuff, but I loved the travel series of, like, even, like, the hotel, series when they, like, travel the world, or, all these traveling shows. And I do get, like, paranormal is traveling, but it's, like, too much. There's, like, I feel like it's just being overrun at this point with paranormal series.
Yeah, it is. It's too much.
And it tells you, too, that all other, networks are not interested in purchasing. It's like they're all going to Travel Channel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's really
It
all I
is
have to say.
unfortunate. It just looks desperate on their part.
Yeah, it does. They need something fresh. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Another good one, though, that's coming out before we finish this chat is Tom DeLonge has his...
Yes!
Yes, I'm so excited about this. Because everybody knows I'm, like, Tom DeLonge obsessed. Like, when I was a kid, he was, like, my man crush forever. His new series is coming out on History Channel. And has it already come out? I can't remember if it already came out or not.
I don't... I don't know.
I think...
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it's come out yet. But, okay, Unidentified it's a 6-part series. It introduces the team members that Tom has, like, basically brought together. And, I don't know. I'm excited about it. See, and that's what that's what's wrong right now, is you have Chuck Zukowski's show coming out, and you have Tom DeLonge's show, and their UFO shows, which have also already been done, but they're, like, more exciting than the paranormal shows that are coming on. Like, I feel like the paranormal shows are boring. I feel like, somebody needs to get a new, fresh idea rather than just trying to push the same old stuff out there. And I also feel like when you bring in people into the community on television that are not credible, and I'll let you, the viewer, decide who is and isn't credible, I feel like it makes the paranormal community look like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't look...
It makes me feel ashamed of the community, because it's like, it makes us all look dumb.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, don't you think? I mean, especially, like, you even work really hard with the production. I know you've been more in, like, hand in hand with the pre-production side. But when you do things the hard way, obviously, and you're working really hard to, like, make an authentic, realistic series, then you see these people come out with these, like, just kind of trash can fires. You're just like, you're making all of us look like our hard work may not end up being worth it. And it will. Especially our production will be worth it. But, I mean, what do you think about it? And you don't need to be specific with anybody.
I agree exactly what you said. It makes the rest of us look bad. You get a few bad eggs in there, and then the whole paranormal community is in the crapper again.
Yep.
But hopefully being a streaming service will change that. Right. They're starting to incorporate also more paranormal shows.
Netflix is doing awesome.
Netflix.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Time will tell. But with how quickly some of these shows are being put together on Travel Channel, I don't think they're going to last long.
Yeah, but aren't they getting a hint? Like, here's what I did before I did, like, Ghost Girl Diaries, okay? Obviously, for years, I was, like, taking different shows and I was, like, depicting them on YouTube, like, to teach everyone about the production side of paranormal, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, part of the depiction process was me literally studying the shows, the hosts, the series, who they're incorporating, meaning like the talent. And then I was able to decipher, look at the numbers, look at the success rates of some shows versus other shows. And that's what I broke down. And I said, okay, here's what doesn't work. And here's what does work. You know, like the two best hosts, in my opinion, are Josh Gates and Zach, obviously. And one of the reasons is that although Josh Gates is going all over the world doing like ancient archaeology stuff, they show behind the scenes stuff of his actual adventure, like going to those places or doing stuff. And like not everybody, you get to see like a day in the life of Josh Gates. Same with Ghost Adventures, a day in the life of Ghost Adventures. And it's like these people are not taking a hint of like, you cannot force scripted stuff. You can't cast people. You can't cast talent. And then they get mad. These production companies, I know because I've worked with them. And they do this rush, you know, they like get all these people, they rush it out there really fast, and then they wonder why they don't get signed a second season, because clearly that cost the production company a lot of money between like crew, hiring crew, all of the film equipment that they need, editing, post-production, costs a ton of money, even one series, or one series, or one, like season one. And then they get mad it's not successful. It's like, because you rushed through it, you didn't think about it, you're not like breaking this down from like a production aspect, and that's where I get so frustrated.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's not fair.
No, it's not. But, you know, I'm not here to save everybody either. And, you know, the way that we've done it too, you know, it hasn't been a slow process. It has been a long process, but it's the right process, the right way to do things. I had to analyze it and say, okay, it's going to take longer. It's going to be more expensive. It's going to take time. But if we do it the right way, it will be the successful way in the end. I want longevity. I want to be 14, 15 seasons in. I don't want to be a fly-by-night where it gets shown season 1 and then it ends.
Yeah, I was just going to say longevity.
But I agree, though. Netflix, too, itself, there's been so many, like, although most of it's scripted, they have a lot of Haunted Paris stuff on there, and, you know, Sabrina is one of them. And it's good to see that, like, the content that they put out there, they want it to be good. They don't want to put out just anything.
Right.
And so anyway, it frustrates me. It's just sad.
Yeah, it is frustrating. But
someone said Travel Channel's gotten way out of hand. Yeah, it has. There's a lot. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I do know, like, Discovery purchased Travel Channel, and there was, like, some shifts of movement. But, I mean, same with the Ghost Adventures Halloween episode. Do you remember how bad that was last year?
Oh, my God.
That was a disaster.
It was horrible.
And I don't blame Ghost Adventures. It was clearly the network came in and had control, which is where you don't want to lose creative control because, ouch.
Yeah, that was really rough.
It was embarrassing.
That was really rough.
It was embarrassing. Yeah. I don't want to ever put out content like that. Like, I would refuse it. I would be like, no, I'm not putting content out like that. Sorry. Let's look here. What else?
Pretty much.
I feel like it's making a joke of the paranormal community. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Any other questions anybody has? I'm reading through some comments right now. They seem legit. Good show with the ripples in time. Oh, Resident Undead. I don't think I've seen that yet. 100% shows are scripted with actors and no evidence found. Osborne. Oh, God. Have you seen Jack Osborne's show?
No.
Well, praise Satan.
Should I not?
Oh my God. Okay, so I found out from one of the fans messaged me that was like a super hardcore fan. Found out that, so Katrina, remember Katrina from Paranormal Lockdown with Nick? She is still signed to an X amount of shows with Travel Channel, okay? So they made her hook up with Jack Osborne to do this series, okay? She was forced to, basically. She had to finish out her contract, okay? I did not do a full review. I was on Instagram one night just losing my mind because of how bad it was. And they were in Alaska. Some haunted poor Katrina. She just keeps getting the short end of the stick. Like, if anyone in the community deserves a show, it's Katrina. I've said that so many times. Someone give her a real show. Like, give her a chance, you know? But they were in the basement of this, like, haunted hotel in Alaska, and, like, the owner innkeeper's in the basement speaking Latin to the demons down there.
Well, between that and the Cajuns and all of this, I guess they're gonna be best friends.
Oh, and then later, so she said, like, Katrina, like, was interviewing the guy. Like, he said something to Jack off camera. And then Katrina, like, confronted him about, like, so you said that there were, like, rituals, like, satanic rituals being done down here. And then the guy backtracks and says, well, maybe not satanic. And Katrina's like, but I heard you tell Jack. So she called him out. She called him
we
out.
talked about this.
I
we
was
talked
like,
about
you
this.
get it, girl. You get it. You call him out. And, but God,
why did they keep the old footage then?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? That's weird.
I don't know what happened. It's just, someone save Katrina. That's all I have to say. Somebody save her.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Jesus.
But yeah, anyway, go ahead and watch the Jack Osbourne show. It was really hard to get through. It was like,
Great.
Jack had a millimeter. I think this was the first episode.
Oh, next to the, like,
doorbell.
Was it? Doorbell, yeah.
He's holding it next to the doorbell, sits it on a counter next to the doorbell, and says, I don't know why it's going off. Oh, help me, Jesus. Like, literally. Do they not? Here's my question. Do you not think people are watching you that know what they're doing? I cannot be the only paranormal investigator out there, or Kat or Chanel, that watches these things saying, this is not right. You know what I mean?
Not right. Yeah.
How, I mean, embarrassing. Like, oh, okay. Any other questions? I'm looking. Examples without names. YouTube has become a nightmare for the YouTubers. Oh, yeah. I that's why I'm not doing pre-uploaded content anymore, because I don't. Oh, here's a fun fact about our YouTube channel. I don't know if I told you about this. We are up, since we've been back streaming live since January, we are up 500,000 views, which is a lot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We have gotten, in 6 months, under 100 subscribers with 500,000 views. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. YouTube, you suck with your algorithm, okay?
Wow.
Makes no sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
500,000 views and 100 subscribers in a month, in 6 months? I don't think so. So anyway, yeah, YouTube's dead. Our YouTube channel's dead. We're only getting a few hundred views. It's weird. Like, we'll go check it. We'll have like a few thousand views on a video one day, like one of our old live streams, and then the next day it goes back to 300. And I'm like, whatever. I'm over it. There's no point in fighting. You can't call anybody at YouTube to complain, so I'm just, like, over it.
Right.
But I will not waste my time, like, pre-filming content, hours of editing, so that they can roll back our views and, like, you know.
Yeah, that's not right. It's not right.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, well, any other last comments? I mean, I feel like I purged a little bit.
I feel good. You know, I feel really zen now.
I feel zen.
And it was nice to have word vomit for a minute, because
I don't know.
There's been a lot of eye roll the past couple of weeks. I'm like, it is what it is, I guess, but it's very frustrating, to say the least.
The problem I have with paranormal shows is they look fake.
Yes.
And they don't look authentic. And I mean, I can hear a script when I see one. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And although voiceovers might be scripted and, you know, you have history that you need to write down to make it authentic, you know, and there's also such thing as too much investigation, too. You know, your eyeballs cannot handle that long of watching just darkness and investigation and green screen. Like, you need fluidity in the story, and I'm over it. I just wish the community would listen, but I guess, like I said, post-production for us is done this month. We're coming for you.
Yes.
Any producers watching me, I'm coming for you, boo. I'm going to drown y'all out. Ghost Girl Diaries going to get you, and we're going to be good because I did it the right way. And it may have taken me longer.
Stop stealing our ideas.
Yep. Oh, they can steal it. It's already been done. Just do some homework. Don't be lazy. That's my advice.
Social media.
Producers are watching us. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That was fun. And that's just, I guess, current events, right? Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, that's good.
Current events.
Current paranormal events.
Hopefully Chanel will be back next time. and she's still feeling better, so she's finally getting better. And
Yay!
we appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, please make sure you subscribe to our channels, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. Make sure you're following us on social media. And as always, we will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much. Whoops, that's the Be Right Back.